that he's this psycho killer in all of us. He's the axe murderer, the spoiled child, the abuser, the abused. He's the victim, he's the perpetrator, he's the gunslinger, and he's the guy lying dead in the middle of the street.
Band that drove the stake through the heart of the love generation, you know, and it was true. People were bored with peace and love, and we were certainly the next thing. Jim Morrison died. Jim Morrison died, and here came the new Excess band, and Alice was even more excessive. Alice wasn't subtle about it. Alice was how we got the name, because everybody wanted to hear something mysterious. The real true story was that, you know, when I think of the name Alice Cooper, I think Baby Jane, Lizzie Borden, Alice Cooper. It has a certain rhythm to it. And I always picture some little girl standing there with a hatchet behind her back, some sweet little girl standing there with a, you know, that looks very innocent, but there's something very dangerous about her.
We're the extreme American group, you know, and so it fits perfectly. They expect a blonde folk singer.
This whole Ouija board thing got way out of hand. You know, what happened was one of the guys that worked for us, his mother was a self-proclaimed medium, and she said that she had been playing with a Ouija board, and she asked the Ouija board who Vincent Furnier was. Or she asked the board who Alice Cooper was, and it said, spelled out Vincent Furnier. Ooh. You better tell me! The Alice Cooper Band, the most hated band in the world, the most disgusting, parent terrorizing, church terrorizing, authority terrorizing band of all time, were all four-year lettermen in high school. And that's how we started at the Letterman's talent show. We decided to get Beatle wigs, and we would parody the Beatles and call ourselves the Earwigs. And the moment we changed Beatles songs to track lyrics, because we were all in the track, we were all milers. And the funny thing was like we hired girls to yell, to scream for us, you know, the whole thing, and we loved it. The second we did it and we realized we were faking it, we loved it. And the very next day we went out and started learning how to play instruments. I thought the Beatles were raw, and then the Stones came along. And then I was really in my element. As soon as my parents saw the Rolling Stones, they thought the Beatles were okay, you know. And I had already had in my head, you know, I think I could put something together that would make that look pale.
Touched by the toil and plunged into his own. Cursed through the night, through eyes overlong. Black flowed out of my breath, searching for death, but bodies need rest.
I met Frank Zappa through Miss Christine, who was with the GTOs. Miss Christine was babysitting for Frank Zappa. she babysitted for Moon Unit at the time, and he lived in the log cabin. When she said he was putting together a record company and he was looking for freak bands, I said, well, you know, we'd like to audition. And they told us, she says, he wants to see you at 7 o'clock tomorrow. So we thought he meant 7 in the morning. And we got there at his house and set up all the equipment. And, you know, our street clothes were our stage clothes. So I had chrome pants, and, you know, what we wore on the street was what we wore on stage. There wasn't any big difference. And we were there at 7 in the morning, and we started playing in his basement. And he came down, I remember, in his underwear and his coffee, and he says, what is going on? And he says, I meant 7 o'clock tonight. And I said, well, we're here. You might as well listen to us now. It'll be more surrealistic to listen to us at 7 in the morning.
Got my invitation to the annual Levity Ball. Seeing the location was within the minimum. Walking in my room, I found her and looking to my ear. I got into my living where I left my clothes behind.
He said, if I had to write your music on paper, I wouldn't know how to write it, because the arrangements are so out there. He says, I think I really got to have you on the label. And I was really proud, because Frank Zappa was another guy that was a big influence to us, truly a genius. You know, I mean, I think Frank is one of the most underrated guitar players on the planet. Probably the best guitar player I know. And we were just so shocked that he would even want us on his label.
The first time I saw Alice was in Venice, California, at an annual event called the Lenny Brucemas. It took place at a club called the Cheetah that doesn't exist anymore, out at the pier. And the Doors were headlining that day. Alice was an opening act.
When we got done, after 2 songs, there were 4 people left standing there. We had cleared the building in about 2 songs. And I think they just couldn't take the intensity of this band. They ran out of the room. And the only 4 people left was Frank Zappa, Shep Gordon, and 2 of the GTOs. They've never seen that kind of reaction with an audience. That same audience made us so notorious that people would pay to see us so they could walk out on us. The in thing in Los Angeles was to pay to see Alice Cooper so you could walk out on it. The Chicken was a great story, you know. It was, you really don't, it's one of those things where you can go through your whole life and never do anything, and just as long as you tell people you did something. You know, in that case, the Chicken was on stage. We were doing the Toronto rock and roll revival with John Lennon and the Doors and everybody, and it was 70,000 people there, and it was the first big show we'd ever done. And at the end of the show, we always broke open a pillow, a white, you know, feather pillow. One white feather pillow will about half fill Madison Square Garden. Somebody in the audience threw a chicken up. They had the chicken in the audience, they threw it on stage. And I took it, and, you know, I figured I was from Detroit. I'd never been on a farm in my life, you know. I figured it had wings, it had feathers. I'd just throw it back up and it would fly away.
Except it didn't quite fly, and it landed right back down in the audience. And the last scene I remember was people's hands pulling wings and legs and blood flying. It was an incredible moment.
The next day in the paper was Alice Cooper rips chicken in half and drinks the blood and eats the chicken and all this stuff like this. From then on, the ASPCA, every show we do is like, you gonna kill chickens tonight?
I was gone for 14 days. I could have been gone for more. Held up in an intensive care ward. I was lying on the floor. I was gone for all those days, but I was not all alone. I made friends with a lot of people in the danger zone. See my give them back all of their playthings, even the ones I stole.
Well, Dwight Fry was based on, the character that was really the truly scary character in those RKO movies and all the horror movies. I mean, he was, he was Fritz in Frankenstein, the little guy that stole the wrong brain. And he was, Renfield in Dracula, the guy that ate the flies and the spiders and everything. I mean, the actual monsters weren't as scary as Dwight Fry. So we decided to, dedicate that song to him.
When we were recording the vocals for Dwight Fry, we put Alice underneath a pile of chairs, folding chairs, to get that feeling of confinement, so that while he lay there on the floor, he could go, I gotta get out of here, I gotta get out of here, I gotta get out of here.
I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. See my lonely life unfold. I see it every day. See my lonely mind explode. Blow up in my face.
Bob Ezrin was he was everything to Alice Cooper. He invented a lot of the music. He was absolutely, he took us apart and put us back together. Even though he didn't exactly know what he was doing, all he knew is he had this rawness here and he had this other knowledge, put them together. And, at first we were going, we can't play that. That's not Alice Cooper. And he says, nobody knows what Alice Cooper is yet. We are going to invent Alice, like a Frankenstein here in this barn.
When it came time to do Elected, it was important to treat it slightly tongue-in-cheek, but at the same time to give it a real dramatic value, because the vocal was so sort of campaign-like, and we were having a lot of trouble getting that. And what we did was we finally arranged to have a full-length mirror placed in front of Alice so that he could sell to himself this concept of being elected.
Enormous lack of entertainment in rock music, I mean, it got to the point where if you go to a concert, all you're going to see is a guitar solo and a drum solo, and how far can that go? You want to see something that you're going to go home and talk about and scare your parents with, So if some 14-year-old boy goes home wearing eye makeup saying, hey, Alice Cooper wears it, why can't I wear it? And of course his parents are going to say,
For the very first time that you see that people are actually wearing their hair like you, or suddenly wearing their shirts ripped like you are, or their Levi's, and you see bands that are copying you, it's really a compliment, I think. I still consider it a compliment when I see bands that say, wow, we got this directly from you, and if it weren't for you, we wouldn't be doing this. And I get that from bands that are major bands now all the time.
He was rock history for having done it in the first place, right? And he was the only one that ever has been able to pull it off and do it, so it was really cool. I don't care about anybody else that sort of pulled off the makeup, seedy trip. I mean, he was like the first one that just went in that direction,
The fact that when we came out, everybody had hair down to their waist, and we had gotten into Mom's makeup and smeared it on. And this was pre-Clockwork Orange. I mean, and the band didn't mind a little bit of violence, And nobody in the band was gay. Nobody did drugs. Everybody drank beer. So it was a weird all-American kind of sickness to this.
I love you, things I see, much as you love me, things I have in it. When you come away, should be things I feel with fright, for I am out tonight. Show me where to fight, where my head
had a smash with 18 because it was an anthem. It was really like my generation, and it had all this angst involved in it, and it was the idea of, I'm not a boy, I'm not a man, well, I'm awkward, but I'm, this and that. And the whole song sounds like a complaint until he gets to the line where it says, I'm 18 and I like it.
Lines form on my face and hands. Lines form from the ups and downs. I'm in the middle without any plans. I'm a boy and I'm a man. I'm 18 and I don't know what I want. 18, I just don't know what I want. 18, I gotta get away. I've gotta get out of this place. I'm gonna run it without a space again. I got a baby's brain and an old man's heart. Took 18 years to get this far. Don't always know what I'm talking about. Feels like I'm living in the middle of doubt. I'm 18, I get confused every day. 18, I just don't know what to say. 18, I've gotta get away. I've gotta get out of this place. I'm gonna run it without a space again. Lines form on my face and my hands. Lines form from the ups and downs. I'm in the middle without any plan. I'm a boy and I'm a man. I'm 18 and I like it. I like it. Yes, I like it. Love it. Got it. Have it. I gotta get away, gotta get away, gotta get away, gotta get out of here. Mom and dad's got me thinking. La 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 la. And I like it, 18, like it, 18. I'm 18 and I like it.
Glenn Buxton was the Keith Richards of Alice Cooper.
He came out on stage with more jewelry and more accessories. I can say he was the world's most accessorized guitar player, right?
He was a real Bowery boy. He always had at least 10 weapons with him, somewhere on his body. Glenn he got laid more than anybody else, and he would always find, not the groupies, he would get the school teachers. He would always go for the school teachers, the insurance salesmen, the women that were or the real estate, and they all started out really nice women that wore suits, and every single one of them were destroyed in about 6 months. They were like living on the street.
Dennis Dunaway comes from another planet. Dennis Dunaway was dropped here by space parents, I think, when he was like 3 or 4 years old. Either that or there was a spore that fell from somewhere and grew someplace in the United States and turned into a Dennis Dunaway.
A wise old man in the moon or something. He was just always right there, always smiling. Good bass player, and probably the musical core of Alice Cooper. was the pop figure in the group.
He was the guy that could come in with a song and a melody. We would take his songs and twist them into these horrible little ditties.
I think, to a great extent, the push and pull between me and Michael during the early days had a lot to do with developing the Alice Cooper sound.
Neil Smith, to this day, is the greatest pop star ever. He wore more makeup than I did. I mean, this was on the street. And he, you know, he was just, you'd look up like this. He would find out how many drums Keith Moon had, and then he would buy one more. So that he always had one more drum than Keith Moon. Then he'd call him up, and he'd say, Keith, how many drums you have? Yeah, I got 35. He says, I have 36.
He was just arms and legs for years, and sticks flying, and drums all over the place.
He would play, he looked like an octopus because he was all armed. And he was a whole show by himself. Somehow there was a social consciousness in Dead Babies, plus the outrage of it. You know, Dead Babies, when you hear the title, you go, oh boy, Alice is talking about, you know, a truckload of dead babies, you know. And what's sicker than that? The live one at the bottom eating his way out. No. It was like, you know, the Dead Babies thing was actually, it was an anti-child abuse song. I mean, when we were writing it, I already had visions of what that was going to be on stage. And I already knew what the controversy was going to be, you know, but you, at the same time, you take it for what it is, and then you hope that the message will get through.
She got down from the shelf up on the wall. Betty's mommy wasn't there to save her. She didn't even hear her baby call. Ha! Dead babies can't take things off the shelf. Dead babies can't take things on the shelf. Well, we didn't love you anyway.
We didn't take anything seriously, and we didn't even take the money seriously when we started making $1 Billion Babies. When that came out, I mean, we were flaunting it. We were throwing it back in the audience's face. Here's your money, you know. Here, just a little lipstick on it, you know. But I mean, that to me was, I mean, anything like that was fun, because people loved that. I remember when we wrote $1 Billion Babies at the Galicia estate. We were working on it there, and it was based around the drums. It was based around the doom, dan, dan, bam, bam, da, da, ba, da, da, dan, dan.
$1 billion baby, I got you anytime, so
monster. Baby, I adore you, man or woman, living good, love me like a babe. We go dancing nightly in the attic while the moon is rising in the sky. If I'm too rough, tell me I'm so scared. Your little head will come off in my hand. $1 billion, baby. I got you in a dance and a little good ever hold you in the tighter, tighter than me, baby. $1 billion, baby. A right little monster.
The idea of me getting to work with Salvador Dali was unbelievable. That was, to me, he was one of my top heroes of all time. And he had seen one of the shows and thought it was just totally surrealistic. And he loved it because it was so loud and so, it was terrifying and this and that and this. And so he wanted me to do this hologram where I was wearing a $2 million tiara and a $3 million necklace sitting on this pedestal with a Venus de Milo as a microphone biting its head off, you know, like I was singing into it. And then he would film it, and you could put your hand right through it, and it was, you know, it was really the first. But working with him was so odd because the first time we met him, he walked in the room, and he was wearing purple crushed velvet pants and Aladdin shoes, a giraffe skin coat, and his sideburns were in pin curls. And he, you know, he walks in and he says, "I am the Dali." The press asked me, they said, what is it like working with Dali? And I said, I have no idea. I said, because I don't understand a word he's saying and I don't know what he's doing. And Dali jumped up and he says, "This is perfect. It's the finest form of communication is confusion." You know, I loved him. He wore Elvis Presley, a pair of socks that Elvis Presley gave him every day. Pair of purple sparkly socks. You gotta like that. If you bring a 12-foot boa constrictor anywhere, it's gonna get reaction. I was just interested to seeing the reaction, so I went and we got one. I brought it out the first night, and it was just headlines the next day. It was UPI, it was everything, you know. And I think what it is, it's just, it represents something different to everyone. Like this person over here would see something funny, this person would see something sexual, this person would see something horrifying, but no more, I got a reaction. when we went to London, the greatest publicity stunt was stalling a bus with a huge, huge picture of Alice Cooper with nothing on but a snake. I was wearing nothing but a snake. I did a photograph with Richard Avedon with this huge python, and I was totally naked except for the snake. And I was laying on one side, and it was the billboard for the Wembley show. And we had already been banned in England. You know, they had heard so many things about Alice Cooper that they had banned us immediately. And then the people demanded that we come over. And so we decided to stall this huge truck with this picture on it, like at rush hour on a Friday in the middle of Piccadilly Square. Front page. It was the front page of every major. There was traffic backed up all over London. There was this picture of Alice Cooper naked with a snake, and they couldn't do anything about it. It was right in the middle of town. It was the greatest thing we ever pulled off. And on my first trip to London, I was flying over, and all by myself. The rumors were already rampant that I was like the worst thing that ever happened. And I was sitting next to an old woman, and she's, you know, I was playing gin with her, and she says, I'm going to take a nap. She says, wake me up. Don't wake me up for dinner, all right? I said, okay. And so we got ready to land, and I kept nudging her. She died. The lady died next to me. So the first taste that the press got of me was I had to stay behind and like tell the coroner that she died. They take the lady off, and I come out after her, and the press is all going crazy. And they said, what happened? I said, she died. You know, and, well, who is she? I don't know. She was sitting next to me. I should have put a couple of little holes right here, right in her throat would have been perfect. You know, just to, if she was dead, she wouldn't have known it. Under My Wheels was one of the great growl songs of all time, and it had one of the best screams in it.
Telephone is ringing. You got me on the run. I'm driving in my car now, anticipating fun. I'm driving right up to you, babe. I guess that you couldn't see, yeah, but you were under my wheels, honey. Why don't you let me be? 'Cause when you call me on the telephone, say, take me to the show. And then I said, honey, I just can't go. Oh, lady said, I can't leave her home. Telephone is ringing. You got me on the run. I'm driving in my car now. I got you under my wheels. I got you under my wheels. I got you under my wheels. Yeah, under my wheels. I got you under my wheels. Telephone is ringing. I got you on the run. I'm driving in my car now, anticipating fun. I'm driving right up to you, babe. I guess that you couldn't see, yeah, but you were under my wheels, honey. Why don't you let me be? Yeah. I got you under my wheels. Yeah. I got you under my wheels.
Well, TV has always been my best friend, you know. When all else fails, you can turn on the TV and watch anything, you know. When you spend as much time in hotel rooms as rock bands do, you either drink or you get loaded, or you become a sexual fiend, or you watch a lot of television.
Which have you done?
Yeah, I've done all of those.
You can't stay sane on the road. It's just impossible, especially with Alice Cooper.
We're not working on anything now. We're just trying to make it through this tour without dying. Look at me. Would you buy a car from this man?
I lived in a hotel for 8 years. When people said, "Where do you live?" and I said, I just pointed to a Holiday Inn. I lived basically in a hotel. We never took time off from the tour. We just toured constantly. The band broke up pretty much because what I think it was, first of all, we never took time off to enjoy what we had done, really. The only enjoyment we had seemed to be going from airport to hotel to stage, back to the airport, back to the hotel, back to the stage, and very little time to really enjoy anything about it. We had all, you know, everybody had a bottle of something that they were drinking. A couple of the guys wanted to do their own albums, wanted to do solo albums, and that was, you know, I mean, that was okay, you know. I didn't quite agree with that. I said, you know, we're at our peak right now. I don't know why you want to do solo albums, but, you know, that was, and again, they didn't want to do the theatrics, and as far as I was concerned, you know, I wanted to do more theatrics.
Welcome to my nightmare. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel good life. Welcome to my nightmare. Welcome to my breakdown. I hope I didn't scare you. That's just a way of dawn when you come down. Yeah. Sweat, laugh and scream, yeah. Life is just a dream. Yeah. That's just the way we are when we come down. Yeah. Welcome to my nightmare.
Spent all the money in the show. We put it all back into the show. That's why tours like School's Out, $1 Billion Babies, Welcome to My Nightmare were the biggest productions. I mean, they were like overblown Busby Berkeley gone mad productions, but having to do with rock and roll.
Cold Ethyl is my favorite fucking Alice Cooper song, for one. Black Widow's another one. Only Women Bleed. So it's just one of those records I can just cruise through and fucking at any given time, even, no matter how many years I've been listening to it, it's always like, if all else fails, I can always throw this in. You know, it's there's not really much to say except for it's just a cool fucking record.
Only Women Bleed was, I was writing with Dick Wagner for the Welcome to My Nightmare album, and we had written a lot of horrific songs for that album, lots of really heavy mood songs and blazing rock and roll stuff, and we really needed something to soften it in some place. And every song was a piece of the nightmare. So at this one point, I remember we were sitting there and writing something, and he is playing a little line, and somebody said something on television, and I can't remember what it was, but it sounded like Only Women Bleed.
Man got his woman to take his need. He got the power, oh, she done the deed. She spends her life through pleasing up a man.
She feeds him dinner, oh, anything that she can. She cries alone at night too often. Smokes and drinks and don't come home at all. Only women bleed. Only women bleed. Only women bleed. Man makes your hair gray. He's your life's mistake. When all you're really looking for is an even break. He lies right at you. You know you hate this game. Slaps you once in a while and you live in love and pain. She cries alone at night too often. Smokes and drinks and don't come home at all. Only women bleed. 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 Only women bleed.
The Hollywood Vampires was a very exclusive club. Being a Hollywood vampire took a lot of stupidity because you had to want to drink as much as you possibly could until you couldn't drink anymore every night for as long as you could until you were absolutely paralyzed. And that was during a very decadent time, and we were more than happy to be the leaders of this decadence. The trick was to be the last one sitting. You know, if you just drank so much you just couldn't take it anymore, you would just either they'd carry you down or you'd fall down the stairs. But the last one sitting was a very honored position up there. I remember one night we had Bruce Springsteen up here when he first came out. It was his first night up here, and we took a bottle of whiskey, and we all had cowboy boots on, I remember, and we kept pouring our drinks down his boots, down his cowboy boots, until it was about that, he was about that deep in whiskey, and I kept saying, don't let him call you the next Bob Dylan. That's the worst thing you can do. You can't be the new Bruce Springsteen. And he was going, oh, okay, yeah. And he was wearing a Hawaiian shirt of all things. And then somebody else would pour a drink down this boot and say, listen to me, Bruce. To rehab because it was just totally necessary. I mean, I literally committed myself in New York City. I didn't just go into a rehab. I found out that this place was a mental hospital. So I was the only one in there that was in there for alcohol. Everybody else was in there for like killing the grandmother and, you know, making a pie out of her and things like that. Every song on From the Inside was based on a character that I had met in there. Not by name and not exactly what they did, but very close to something that they did. I could never use their names because they might find me.
Dear darling, surprised you're here for me. I bet you're sitting, drinking coffee, yawning sleepily. Just to let you know, yeah, I'm gonna be home soon. I'm kinda awkward and afraid. The time has changed. Your point of view again. How you gonna see me now? Please don't see me ugly, baby. 'cause I know I let you down, yeah. You know, see how you gonna see me now, since I've been on my own. Are you gonna love the man when the man gets home? Now listen, darling, oh, I'm headed for the west. I straightened out my head, but my old heart is still a mess. And yes, I'm worried, honey. Yes, that's natural. It's like I'm waiting for a welcome sign. I'm like a tramp, a dirty hobo in the snow, yeah, yeah. How you gonna see me now? Please don't see me ugly, baby, 'cause you know I let you down, yeah. You know, so many ways. How you gonna see me now? Since we've been on our own, how you gonna love the man when the man gets old? And just like the first time, we're just strangers again. I might have grown out of style in this place I've been. And just like the first time, you'll be shaking inside when I walk in the door. There'll be no place to hide. No, yeah, yeah. How you gonna see me now? Please don't see me ugly, babe, 'cause you know I let you down, yeah. You know, so many ways. How you gonna see me now? Please don't see me ugly, baby, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, you know I let you down, yeah. I feel so bad, yeah. I can never make it up in a time to be late. I'm gonna see you now. When I get you on my own, yeah. You love me. How you gonna love me? How you gonna love me? Oh, yeah. I do my best, baby. I don't drink no more. I don't really try to slow. But how you gonna see me now? Since you've been on our own, yeah. How you gonna love me, man? When my man gets old.
I think the most shocking way of dying on stage, well, we did it a lot of different ways, you know. They electrocuted me, and the very first hanging, which we did full out, you know, we went out and really learned how they do it in the movies. Anything for realism. And then the guillotine, of course, I think was the best. It was very shocking to see, you know. There's something about some sort of morality play always that's worked in the Alice Cooper show, you know, as far as Alice getting away with a lot of stuff and then having to be punished.
Alice Cooper is unkillable. You can't kill Alice Cooper. It's going to come back. It's going to be around for a long time.
I invented a character that was a combination of Dracula, every horror character you could think of, Salvador Dali, you know, all of these villains all rolled up into one. And I couldn't see why there shouldn't, with all the rock heroes around, why there shouldn't be a rock villain.
He was a thing that we created. He was a synthesis of a number of different people and a number of different influences and so on. Of course, there was Alice himself who played the role, but the role of Alice Cooper grew in a kind of gestalt way to become something almost like every man with a twist. And we would even talk about Alice in the third person. Cooper would say, oh, Alice wouldn't say that. Alice would say this. Alice would walk over here. And he still does. He still talks about him in the third person.
I turned into a total Mr. Hyde, and I loved that. To me, to this day, playing Alice, I look forward to playing Alice.
Cooper is so much more than a schizophrenic. The concept of schizophrenic is much too light for him.
You have to be schizophrenic, because nobody in their right mind would sit and say, well, I think I'll go on stage tonight and behead myself.
Clones was an interesting thing because we were really searching for a new sound at this point. I mean, I was always interested in new music. I didn't want to get stuck in this is what Alice does and this is all that Alice does.
We destroy the government, destroy time, no more problems on the way. I'm through, doctor, we don't need your kind. The other ones, ugly ones, stupid boys, wrong ones. I'm all alone, so are we all. We're all clones, all are one and one are all are one and one are all. I'm all alone, so are we all. We're all clones, all are one and one are all are one and one are all.
Punk. Well, I mean, I've been called the original punk. Ripping clothing was part of our look, you know. Anytime you see anybody walk down the street in Hollywood now with black hair that's too black and a white complexion and ripped up Levi's and ripped up shirts and the combat boots and a lot of makeup on, they're still carrying on the Alice Cooper tradition. So every time I see a kid or somebody walking down the street like that, I go, yeah, I designed this generation.
We're in trouble all the time. You read about us all in the papers. We walk around and bump into walls. A blind delegation.
Trash was what really brought Alice Cooper back. You know, Trash was the album, but, you know, when I think of it, it wasn't an accident. Every bit of Trash was planned. Every single period and comma and quotation mark and every idea that happened on that album was planned. Luckily, the stage show was more spontaneous, but the album was very, very thought out. Out for 1991, and the idea of Hey Stoopid is not just an anti-suicide song, but it's saying, it's almost saying stay stupid.
Let's play that back and send the end of it into reverb.
It's amazing how consistent he plays that.
Yes.
This is Alice Cooper, and anybody can have what they want out of Alice Cooper. I mean, I'm not trying to press or push anything.
Il n'essaye pas de prouver quelque chose aux gens, ni d'essayer de leur prouver quelque chose, mais c'est aux gens à trouver ce qu'ils veulent trouver. Et il est Alice Cooper, il est lui-même, et on en pense qu'on a vu.
Quels sont les thèmes de son show?
What are the big things on your shows, the themes?
The themes?
Yeah.
Well, the whole theme of the thing is to attack